Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Page of Swords podcast. This is episode 53, and I'm bringing on Cassie Ross, who is an amateur NPC figure competitor who just competed at the Pittsburgh Championship show a few weeks ago. So, Cassie, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And, I would like to just dive right into your competition history because I'm on the NPC news website where I can kind of see previous shows. So was 2017 the first year you competed?
So I started competing in bikini in 2016.
Okay.
And then I did my first figure show in 2020.
Okay. Oh, I see that here now. It says the bikini class F. So you did, you did Universe. So that was a national show, huh? Okay.
Yeah. I got my first year, I got second place at a regional show. And then the 2017, I won my class. So I went to Universe and I got second call outs, but I never had huge glutes. So I have broad shoulders. It's not that I'm a big person. I just have broad shoulders. So I just never really fit the bikini division. Mm-hmm. So then I just wanted to train and enjoy it. I mean, I had that gap between 2017 and 2020, but it takes time to put on that development, especially if you're tall.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say because it says class F here for a Universe. So you must be what? How tall are you?
5'6.5" usually when they measure me.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, you're not like the tallest class, but you're definitely up there, right?
Those girls are like Amazon.
Yeah, and they always have like really long limbs, and I'm just like, I mean, if they have the shape and structure, it is beautiful, but I can't imagine doing that forever. Yeah, definitely. So how did you get into the whole competing? Like when you started bikini, was someone just kind of like, you should do a show and you were just like, okay, let's try bikini?
So I first got into, sorry.
You're okay.
My dogs are chewing my shoes. So.
That's okay. There's dogs below me too. I know.
So I first got into the gym when I was like early 20s, and I dated a guy. Okay. And he was a trainer at the gym. And this is a total cliche like gym story, but I was a girl that had weight. I drank a lot of beer and just like I was a country girl, so I had some extra weight on me. Anyways, so I started getting into the gym and getting into fitness. And then I remember him telling me, you would never compete. And then so when it didn't work out, I competed. I didn't do very well, but I loved it. And that's where, it took off from there.
Did you like have a first coach or anything when you got started there?
My first show, no. And then I had a coach I worked with in bikini. And when I first started, I really didn't understand like the dieting aspect. So I just kind of worked out and tried to eat clean, but like, yeah, comparing it to what I do now, it's not the same at all.
Yeah, I'm checking out some of your bikini pictures here. That's not honestly, this isn't bad for first bikini, at least from what I can see. You had a purple suit, I think it was there, and posing looked good. How did you do posing? Did someone help you with that?
Yeah, my coach helped me. He helped me with my bikini posing. I didn't have like a real posing coach till I started in figure, because those poses got so much more like complex, I feel, versus bikini, you have your front shot and your back.
Oh yeah. And like, that's what's always really fun too, is just that I remember wanting to, because I started in bikini just like you. And I just remember like, I was like, I want to flex and do those poses. And I even like tried to do it in bikini. I remember I would move my hair, and we all know that's a bikini no, but I was like, I want to be in figure so bad. And I just kept doing like anything that would be remotely figure. But right. Yeah, I think like you said, it's a little bit more complex for sure. And so you did bikini a little bit. So how was your first like national experience then, whenever you like I don't know, like to me, when I hear nationals and I was an amateur, I thought that was like so high and mighty.
So the first time I did Universe, I got second call outs, which in those bikini classes, when you have 30 competitors and you're placing, you know, top 10-ish, that's pretty good for your first time. So I was happy with it. I think I might have gotten right outside the top 10. But anyways, for my first experience, I remember being backstage. There was another girl who she had several bikini overalls around the Midwest. And then I remember she was in a shorter class. She got second call outs and she came off backstage and she was so upset. She's like, I'm done with bodybuilding. I'm done with competing, yada, yada, yada. And just like in a very bad mood. And I come off stage and I'm like, I got second call outs at my first national show. I was so happy. So, you know, I always enjoy, you know, stage day, even if you don't get the placing you want, you work hard. So why not enjoy that day?
Absolutely. And it's all mindset too. I've done some shows where I put a lot of pressure on myself and it just like wasn't a good time. But the ones that I always went into just being like, hey, I'm here and I'm gonna, you know, pose the best I can and I'm just happy with whatever. Those are the ones I end up placing like my highest. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Control what you can control, right?
Right.
So what part of the Midwest are you in?
I'm from Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay. Yeah,
so,
do you like it out there? How's the gym vibe and stuff?
So we have one kind of bodybuilding-ish gym, or I guess bodybuilding gym, and it's about 20-25 minutes away from me, so I don't get to go there terribly often. But they have Genesis out here. They're more corporate gyms, and then Lifetime, and then I go to one called Cheese Fit. It's basically an organization that owns like the NFL branding. They have like the NFL in each city, you know. So I go there and they have really good amenities, but their equipments or like machines for like bodybuilding aren't the same as what we prefer. So I like to go down to Flex to use like, you know, the Arsenal, the Prime Strength, all those like really hand-picked equipment for certain muscle groups that you just don't get at your average gym.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I know you're still in prep right now, so I know it's always like, who's got the best cardio equipment to make this as tolerable as possible?
Right.
What do you prefer for cardio?
So there was a period my coach had me running and that I'm not coordinated at all. So, and being depleted on top of that, like that was rough. But right now I do stairs in the morning and then I do an incline walk in the evening and I prefer that over running any day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure if you were doing the running, which I did during 2020 during the lockdown, and I was doing a lot of ice baths with that. Have you ever done an ice bath?
I haven't. I've tried to.
Yeah.
Once ice in the bath, but the water wasn't cold enough, so it just melted. I was like, well, this just defeated the purpose. But I've done the cryotherapy once, and I didn't mind that. But you're not in there very long.
No, it's like throw on some mittens, get half naked, and get in for a minute. It's like,
all right.
I guess that did something. I'm not sure. So I've heard you. Yeah, that is I don't know. I guess it's like a luxury thing, right? Like it's not like anything life changing, but if you can afford it, I guess go for it.
It does add up. That's the nice thing. Cheese Fit has like the Normatec leg sleeves and like
cool.
and whatnot, and it's you can get it added to your membership, but I know quite a few people there, so they just let me go back there.
Yeah. Hey, that's clutch. That's like that is the good stuff right there. When you know somebody and they can help you with the recovery, like that just like one ups you from a competitor, you know what I mean? Like, even though it's not like I said, some of these things are like a luxury thing. Like I'm like super into body work. Do you get that done too?
Yeah, so I actually just found a girl before I went out to Pittsburgh that she specializes in a lot of athletes. She actually works on a lot of NFL players for like in the Midwest region. And she was, when I reached out to her, she wasn't taking any new clients, but I kind of told her what I do. And so she made an exception for me. Nice. And it was cool because she worked on me right before Pittsburgh. Then I went and did well at Pittsburgh. So she reached out and like congratulated me, and she's excited because she loves working with athletes and stuff like that too. So it's cool, like meeting other people that want to see you do well too. you know.
Absolutely. That body work goes a long way. Like I've done a show before where in figure, you really need to have your shoulders aligned and the muscles in your traps kind of chilled out, and your lats too can really help with that activation when you're posing. And yeah, I definitely highly recommend getting body work done before a show, like what you just said you got done, and that helps a lot. Are you scheduling her for before like your next show?
Yeah, I'm trying to get on her schedule, moving her location, but I have time. I haven't told you, I haven't told anyone really, but I
Okay. You switch coaches?
shows.
Oh, shows. Okay, okay. Sorry, I cut out there for a second. I was gonna say, whoa, we haven't.
Yeah,
Okay,
no.
switch shows. Okay, okay.
So I'm really excited to have. I wanted a little bit more extra time,
Okay.
so to North Americans.
North Americans. Okay, so you'll be back in my area.
Yeah.
I'll be gluing your butt again. Well, I'm glad you're coming back then, because I will be, that's my next show, tanning. So I will definitely be there. Have you, no, you haven't done North Americans, right? Not yet.
No,
Okay. Yeah. So
I
you
did.
did USA's in 2020.
Yeah. So I won my first figure show, and then I went on to USA's and I got fifth in my class.
Yeah.
So I was just a little tiny thing, and it was my first time in figure. Like
Yeah.
looking back now, it's kind of funny because I'm not that much heavier than where I was at USA, but I just got up there, had fun with it, and got some feedback, grow. So that's what I'm gonna do.
They just told you to grow all over, or like
They
anything?
pretty symmetric, pretty balanced. So just focus on overall development and come in a little bit more condition. And even when I talked to Steve after Pittsburgh, he said I looked good. I just need to come in a touch tighter, which I agree. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when I look at your USA's, you definitely have, like, you are figure because you've got amazing delts. But it just seems like because I don't want to say your physique reminds me of me, but just getting lean has always been the hardest thing. And I ended up nailing it my last show, but I mean, it is so hard. but that's good.
I was gonna do junior nationals, and I'm just like, I want to know like that I had everything to AT, and like if I can get the leanness, I will feel like I can be very competitive at the end of the day. So
yeah,
I want to focus.
Yeah, and then so how did you feel backstage at USA's? Did you like it? Because did they have it in Vegas for the 2020?
No, that was when they had it in Arizona. It was in Phoenix. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, I couldn't remember if they moved it or not. So how did you like it? Because I do know that I haven't been to Universe, but I do know that like USA's is definitely like, I think a more top tier on the national level scale.
Yeah. So I feel like nationals is the top, and then USA's, and then North Americans, and so on. But I really liked it. I mean, it was quite competitive. Sorry.
You're fine. Well, we lost her. She'll be back. Yeah, we'll see how. Yeah, I think Cassie's gonna have a great future in this. Like, oh my gosh, like fantastic. Let's see if she comes back.
So sorry.
You're so fine. It's okay.
It was my sister calling. I'm back though.
No, you're fine. I won't keep you forever. But you were talking about the difference between Universe and USA's whenever you're collected there.
Yeah, so USA's back there was room. The girls were all for 9. It was really well run. We went on stage at a good time, got done at a good time. Universe, since I was in bikini, I remember I had gone on for pre-judging Friday night at 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
And then finals was Saturday, and I didn't go on for finals till like 12:30. It was a long, long day.
Yeah, that was the nice thing about figure. I think it might have been the same for the USA's that I did. They did they did bikini on Friday, and then they had the Friday finals or Saturday finals for bikini. So it was like a 2-day thing. And I'm like, I can't imagine. Like figure got lucky. It was just 1 day and you're done.
Yeah, that's why I like North Americans too, because it's all kind of spaced out. So I'll just have Thursday. I'm gonna actually fly in on Monday and just chill, and then compete on Thursday and go back home.
That is seriously the best. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like, I understand that this sport can be very expensive, but when you're doing these like big shows that, you have a pro card on the line, if you can like afford to take some time off work and get there early and just chill out like like a starfish on a rock, like that is the most ideal thing that you can do. So I do agree with that.
Yeah, totally.
So let's go on to the Pittsburgh then. So how did you like the Pittsburgh Championship show?
I really liked it. I went out, what was it, Thursday morning, got there about Thursday afternoon, and I just had this big room. Like I had this giant room to myself. I guess I had like the upgraded one. So like the normal were like really small. But then I had like this nice office, this big bathroom. Like I had a fridge, microwave, Keurig, everything. And so I just chilled in there, did my check-ins with my coach and whatnot. And then when it came to like show day, went down there, was backstage. I wish the backstage was a little bigger. It was a little small, but everything was run really well. It was cool seeing all the pros and seeing people, you look up to and whatnot, and just being around it, because I don't get that in the Midwest.
No, I was going to ask if there was any like pros in your area. I can't really think of any in Kansas City that are really around there.
There's a girl, she's a master's figure pro, but I'll be the first pro figure and open whenever my time comes.
Yeah, but that does feel good though. I know that feeling. I think that's how it is here in my area. Like you'd be surprised because Pittsburgh's kind of where the president lives and everything. It's kind of like the hub. But yeah, we have like one master's figure and then there's me. So I'm just like, and then there's like a girl, she'll come, I don't know where she lives. I think like West Virginia, but she's like flown in or drove in before for like posing seminars and stuff too. So there's one that floats around, but yeah, it does make a difference, like to have more pros, but then at the same time, it makes you feel cool when you're the only pro.
Yeah, definitely.
So was the feedback, oh, you already said that Steve said to just come in tighter. So that's good that you chose Pittsburgh and got in front of those judges. Have you been in front of, well, no, you did nationals. So of course you've been in front of them.
Yeah. Steve judged me when I was in Bikini at Universe, and then Tyler judged me, I believe, at USA's.
Okay. Yeah, because he's definitely more involved now, which is like really cool. I saw they were given like really good feedback and stuff at the show too.
Yeah.
And that was the first time we ever had that venue. So that's why I was like really curious what your thoughts were on it.
Well, the one thing with the hotel, they had the promoters let the competitors know you didn't need to bring sheets or anything.
Okay, good.
But this hotel is not the Sheraton that's used to having bodybuilders. They were saying the hotel would provide like ruined sheets for the competitors. Turned out they are not. And so I had to turn it down to like 50 degrees in my room, have a hoodie on, and still I think I got a little mark on my white sheets, but
you're trying so hard. It's like, that's what people don't know.
I had it all packed, and one of my teammates who was a pro competing, she's like, oh, you don't need to bring it. I was like, okay, then that's like a lot of stuff I don't have to pack. So it gives me room. So I didn't pack it. And then I get there, I was like, I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I think every competitor needs to know now you're going to want your room super cold with that tan because it's not really fun. And you don't want to wake up with a bunch of wrinkles either on your chest.
Right. I took a nap if I could have rinsed off and done another coat before finals, I would have, because I did extra heavy on my tan because I am very fair skinned, and it looked great at prejudging, but because I went back and slept and had some marks and whatnot, I mean, we do the best we can at the end of the day, and it's still, but
yeah, and prejudging is where it's at too. Like, yeah, you want your tan to look all day, but I tell girls sometimes when they come back for finals, I'm like, the judges know who won. Like, don't worry, we'll get you as pretty as possible, but you, as long as your prejudging look was good, we'll just fix you up for the finals.
I went back and watched the videos of when I competed, and they literally, for finals, they didn't even compare my class. They literally just placed everybody, and they're like, okay, you won. And I was like, okay. And then since I was the tall class, they called everybody back out for the overall. And Steve literally did one turn, and then he's like, okay, go to the side. And then they call my name. I'm like, that was so fast.
Well, you got to see too with the figure pros that they just had the night before. Like, the judges are so like they know who won. It's, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, there's been times where at finals maybe they switch first and second place depending how they came back for the night show. But I tell these girls, have a strong front and a strong back, because these judges, especially like at Steve's level, they'll know right away. They'll know.
Yeah.
And I saw you had like the best delts, and I'm just like, yep, there it is.
Thank you.
Do you do it like, is that just like a genetic thing, or like, were you a swimmer?
I don't think I have huge delts. I think I'm just broad up top. So like I come back, it just comes out. But
the illusion, right?
Yes, it's definitely the illusion, especially because like my waist, like just walking around, my waist is probably like normal. It's not like extra small or anything. But when you actually like carb up and like pull some of that water, and it just like shrinks up, and then everything like starts to pop more. It's crazy, those illusions that come out.
Yeah, no, that's what you want on stage, right? Like that's where you want people to think you're super big. Because I tell some of these figure girls too, like, yeah, you have to have the conditioning, which is really important in figure, but you also have to have the size. And I think that some people will either focus on one or the other. And I'm like, well,
yeah, you can't just be shredded and you can't just be big, because I feel like people will focus on getting big and then they lose their symmetry. The three things I like to think about are size, symmetry, which you can only do so much with your genetic symmetry. But if you can have a balance between those three: conditioning, size, and your symmetry, it makes the flow and like the art to the category so much prettier. So, I mean, we all have something we have to work on. Like, I still need size, I still need conditioning, but like that symmetry, that flow makes it really pretty, so it pops.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And you already have the top half going on there good. And I mean, conditioning's for nationals and you're set, in my opinion. And then what suit did you, so it doesn't show me Pittsburgh, but what suit did you have? Was it the same one from USA's?
I'm under Cassandra. If you look Cassandra Ross up.
Oh, is that why?
I didn't realize I put my legal name. So you'll pull it up if you search Cassandra, but it's a quarter turn to the right. Same one I wore at USA's.
Okay. Well, that's always fun too. I love talking about suits too, because they're so expensive. Like, why not talk about them, right? And like, they're important too for the show. So, oh, and I wanted to ask you, of course, so just so everyone knows, because I already know you work with Justin. And how long have you been working with him?
So I started with him, I'm actually pretty new. I started with him in November. So we didn't have like a big off season or anything. I had been doing pretty much my off season before. And you know, it just wasn't going how I wanted it to go. I was in a car accident last summer too and had my hand broken. Nothing huge, but I couldn't train how I wanted to train. So I got that healed, worked on things, and then I hired Justin. So he had like a month-ish of off season before I started like trying to pre-prep and then into prep. So he's still learning, you know, my body, how things work. Cause I dropped 40 pounds this prep. Yeah, I was up to 180. I was 141 show day.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I can relate because my heaviest was 161. I'm 5'3" and got down to 116 for nationals. And it sounds pretty close to like your drop. Like, but that's the thing. Like, I know when our goal is to get more size, right? Like in figure, like we're still like new, up and coming. And I try to tell girls, like, yeah, like you might have to prep a little longer, but like if you're really like trying to hold on to as much size as possible in a healthier way,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you might be in prep for a while, but it
Yeah.
sounds like I know Justin's really good, so you're safe with him, like protocol wise and stuff.
So down to earth too. Like the weekend I had like in Pittsburgh where I got to know him one-on-one too, as a coach and as a person. Like it was so easy. Like he would check in on me, ask me how I was doing, and then he come like look at me, let me know what I needed to eat, if I needed to drink water, whatnot, get a little upper body pump. And he was just so detail oriented and then just like calm. So you're like getting a little antsy because it's show day, and then having a coach that's just chill, like it chills you out. So you feel like you got this.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm glad that you have a good experience with that because a lot of people don't even get their coach at their show. I know I've been pretty lucky and it makes a world of a difference to have her at my show, but yeah, I know all these like top coaches that they, especially if it's a regional show, like some of the top coaches aren't going to always be at a lot of the shows, you know, so that's cool. Like I know it's Pittsburgh and Justin comes for those ones, but that's cool that he was there for you like that too.
Yeah, he had 4-figure pros the day before, so he was going for them, and then he stayed for me. And then it was Mother's Day, and he's actually from Pittsburgh. Uh, and then that's another thing why I want to do North Americans. He wasn't going to make it to junior nationals, but he'll be at North American. So it just gives me time to work on things. I'm actually going to fly out in 2 weeks to go see him and work on some things and just learn as much as I can, I guess.
That's great too, that you can take a trip to go see your coach, because I know he's in Arizona, right? Yeah, and like there's all kinds of like I love it down there. That's actually where my coach is from too. So it's like, gosh, even though like there's no like super fancy gyms, like, but there's a lot of the fitness is very big down there. So it is a nice environment. Perfect. And then if you're going to come back to Pittsburgh too, then you know the city. And that always helps, especially with the nerves. So that's great.
I really part of town where the Sheridan's at, right off the river. It's really
yeah, because you got the Mount Washington's right there. So I know I always like tell people to go eat up there after the show because they'll be like, "Where do we go?" And I'm like, "Well, Southside's kind of a mess if you want to go down where all the bars are, but if you want a little bit something nice with a nice view, just go up the hill." So that's Pittsburgh for you. So yeah, you'll be doing North Americans, and I mean, I know that's going to be quite some time, so that should be nice to just kind of coast into that. Are you doing like a reverse?
Yeah, so I just made the decision today. It's very new.
Okay.
I do junior nationals, and I was just getting anxious and I wasn't in the right headspace. So I was like, I'd rather wait and be in the right headspace than force something to happen. I don't want to be in a bad, like, I don't even know how to describe it, but take a step back, reverse diet. You know, I've been dieting a while, and then work on bringing in an even better package. Give me some time to improve.
That could help your conditioning too, to just get kind of like that reverse food bump up and then do an extra push. Because I kind of did the same thing and it did work out at the end where, you know, like you said, you've already been dieting for a while and the body's a little tired. So the best thing to do is just kind of like reset the computer, right? Just kind of like give it a little couple minutes here and then go right back to it. And then you're already at the gym and doing your cardio and stuff. So it's like the routine and the goal is still there. But it just sounds like you listened to your gut and was just like, hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I made that call because it works out better in the long run.
Yeah, it will. You'll be happy with it, especially like you said, for your mind. This
Mhm.
sport requires so much mindset. Is there like do you do any like stretching or
Mhm.
meditation, yoga, anything like that?
Yeah, I like to read a lot. I'm
Yeah.
like my romance novels, I'm not gonna lie,
Okay.
but it's the way I de-stress at the end of the day. And, you know, some people like gaming or going for walks. I like enjoying my time with my dogs when my puppy's not driving me insane,
Yeah.
but things like that.
Yeah, and that's really important. That's why I bring that up. I think everybody, especially in prep, you kind of need something to kind of just take your brain away from the groundhog's routine for just a little bit, just to kind of chill and unwind at the end of the day, especially after all that cardio. Like,
Hmm.
you don't want to start thinking about tomorrow's cardio because I've been
Yeah,
there.
but you're like, I'm gonna have to go back in a little bit.
Yeah, I better get some sleep. And all I can think about is that cardio and how important it is and all that
Yeah.
other fun stuff. And perfect. But yeah, I wanted to wish you luck and everything and have you on and kind of bring up anything. Is there any like tips for new competitors? Like something that's like, I wish everybody knew this getting into competing?
So I would say don't rush it. And I think a prime example of that, I have so many pro figure friends, so many, and they're like, this is your year, you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it in a couple weeks. And I'm like, it was hard making that decision today to wait,
Mhm.
but knowing like I'm putting myself first, a pro card is always gonna be there.
Mhm.
There's always going to be a competition. So always put yourself first.
Mhm.
Remember why you're choosing to do it. And then always have fun with it. Don't enjoy your journey and your progress. Don't get too caught up in the competition side of it
Mhm.
because I see girls that get so beat up because other girl placed better than her. And you can make great friendships. And I've met so many amazing, inspirational athletes within this industry. So,
Mhm.
I'm very thankful to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Like you said too, it sounds like you've got a really good team with Justin and his girls, and
Yeah.
they'll keep you level headed. That's really important in this sport. Like you said, you go into these shows and it's always going to be a competition, but hey, look at the pros that you're friends with. They're going into shows too, and they're just as nervous. So just know that everybody is just going on stage doing their best, and that's why you got to have fun, right? You're
All
putting
right.
too much time and effort into this to just not enjoy your day.
I-
Alrighty, girl. Well, I know you're in prep and tired, and it's been great to talk to you. And then, hey, if you get that pro card, I want to have you back so we can talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yes. So it might be a little bit since it's 15 weeks away, but no, we'll definitely talk and I'll fill you in. It was really nice. I actually had already paid for junior nationals.
Okay.
And so I sent them an email and explained, and they're like, well, if you win your pro card on North Americans, we'll take what you paid for junior nationals and pay for your pro card. And I was like, well, at least they're doing that. They're not refunding me, but that's nice that they're considerate. So
Yeah.
it's like that.
I love that. That's that really shows that while the NPC is very expensive and we're always like, oh, they'll make anything to make a buck, right? But in reality, they're like, no, we want the athletes, like we need you guys on stage, or there are no shows. So I think deep down they do have good intentions.
Yes. It's a business at the end of the day too. Like they want us to do well and enjoy our time, but at the same time, they have to run a business.
Absolutely. And just like anything right now, everything's going up in price, gas, traveling. And then, of course, having these shows at venues cannot be cheap at all. So you have to think like, hey, they're paying for space and rent and tanned sheets in the hotel bedroom. So
Yeah.
I know. Oh, goodness. Well, I'm glad to hear that and that you're going to make this decision because I think as hard as it is to say, like, hey, I'm doing this for me and it's, I'm kind of scared. Like, there could be an opportunity here, but there could be a better opportunity somewhere else. So
Mhm.
it takes a lot to just be okay and trust your coach too. I'm sure Justin is all for it and he'll be
Yeah.
there. Just trust him.
Yeah, I had a really good conversation with him today and it made sense. So, having those talks with your coach and really communicating is huge.
So important. Yeah, absolutely. Especially these bigger shows where you're nervous and everything else. But yeah, you got a good one, so you're good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. And until next time and everything. And I'll be chatting with you on
Yes.
Instagram. And if anybody wants to follow you, right? It's is it just Cassie Ross? Let me see.
Yeah.
Here. Oh,
Cake.
Tiny Beefcake. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. So look up Cassie Ross or at Tiny Beefcake on Instagram. Okay. And then I'll put it in the show notes and stuff too. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, girl. I'll talk to you later. All right.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.